Have you ever stopped to think about why you picked one phone over another, or a certain brand of coffee? I can tell you, it's definitely not by accident. It's all part of a very deliberate plan, and today we're going to crack that plan wide open. We're using one of the most important books in business, Marketing Management's 17th edition by the legendary Philip Kotler. We're jumping right into Chapter 8 to really get the blueprint behind the products you can't live without.
Okay, let's start here. Before we get into all the strategy, just take a second and think about a product you personally love. I mean, one you're really loyal to. What is it about it? Is it how it works, how it looks, or maybe just how it makes you feel? Whatever it is, hold on to that thought, because you're about to see exactly how companies engineer that feeling on purpose.
And this right here is the absolute core of it all, straight from Kotler. You can have the most brilliant marketing campaign in the world, the funniest ads, the best social media, but if the product itself doesn't deliver, the brand is eventually going to fail. It all starts with the product. That's the foundation for everything else.
So to see how they build that foundation, we're going to walk through 4 key steps. First, how do they make products stand out? Second, we'll talk about the power of design, and it's not just about looking good. Third, we'll see how companies manage a whole family of products. And finally, we'll look at those last little touches that seal the deal.
All right, let's dive into part 1, the blueprint for difference. You know, in today's marketplace, with a million options for everything, being different isn't just a nice little bonus, it's about survival. So what are we talking about when we say differentiation? Well, it's really just the art of making your product stand out from the competition in ways that people actually care about. It's about giving customers a really clear, compelling reason to choose you over everyone else. This is step 1, and it's probably the most important.
And you know, companies have a whole toolbox they can use to do this. It can be something really basic, like just making the core function better than anyone else's. Or it can be about adding extra features. It might be about performance, how well it works, or what they call conformance quality, which just means every single item they make is perfect, with no defects. Then you've got durability and reliability, the promise that it's built to last. And of course, there's the look and feel, the style, and even giving you the power to customize it yourself.
That last point about look and feel leads us perfectly into our second section, design. Because as Kotler points out, design is one of the most powerful ways to stand out. And trust me, it goes way, way deeper than just making something look pretty.
The way Kotler defines it is just perfect. He says design is the totality of features. It's not one thing. It's everything working together. The look, the feel, the function, all blended into one seamless experience. It's something that appeals to your brain and your gut at the same time. Samsung is a fantastic real-world example of this. They have this 3-part philosophy for their design. First, is it simple and intuitive? Second, is it efficient and built to last? And third, is it adaptive and engaging? You can see that kind of thinking in every single thing they make.
Okay, so far we've been really zoomed in on a single product. But of course, most big companies don't just sell one thing. And that brings us to Section 3, the art of the lineup. This is all about how they manage their entire family of products.
Now, one of the biggest moves a company can make is something called line stretching. So they can stretch down market. Think of a luxury car company suddenly releasing a more affordable model. The danger? You could damage your fancy brand image, or worse, your new cheap product could cannibalize sales from your more expensive, profitable ones. The flip side is an upmarket stretch, where a company tries to enter the high end. The risk there is totally different. They might not have the credibility or the know-how to actually compete with the established luxury players.
This all brings up a really fascinating question. We're always told that more choice is better, right? But is that actually true? Is it possible for a company to hurt itself by giving us too many options?
Well, according to the research in Kotler's book, the answer is a big, resounding yes. When we're faced with a giant wall of options, our brains can literally go into information overload. We just can't process it all. Then there's choice overload, where there are so many good options that we just get paralyzed and don't choose anything. And here's the crazy part. Having too much choice can make our expectations skyrocket, so we think a perfect option must be out there. And that makes us less happy with the perfectly good choice we end up making. Sometimes less really is more.
Okay, the product's designed, the lineup is set, but we're not done yet. Now we get to the final, crucial moment of truth. Section 4, the final handshake. This is all about what the customer sees and experiences right at the moment they decide to buy.
Now check out this statistic from the book, because it's wild. Somewhere between 50 and 70% of all buying decisions are made right there, in the store. Think about that. That makes the packaging one of the most important things. It's your silent salesperson sitting right there on the shelf.
And that silent salesperson has 4 really important jobs to do. First, you've got to be able to identify the brand in a split second. Second, it needs to give you some quick, persuasive info to convince you to buy it. Third, just on a practical level, it has to protect the product inside. And finally, it should be easy to open and use when you get it home. Great packaging nails all 4 of those things without you even thinking about it.
And last but not least, let's talk about the promises a company makes after you buy. A lot of people mix up guarantees and warranties, but they're not the same thing. A guarantee is all about satisfaction. If you're not happy for whatever reason, you can probably get your money back. A warranty is about function. It's a promise that the product will work for a certain amount of time, and if it breaks, they'll fix it or replace it. So let's put it all together. What's the big picture here? First, everything, and I mean everything, starts with a great product. That's the heart of a great brand. Second, you have to stand out, and you do that through your features, your quality, and especially through great design. Third, managing a whole family of products is a tricky balancing act. And finally, never, ever forget about the power of that final handshake, the packaging, and the promises you make to your customer. Now that you have the blueprint, I guarantee the next time you go shopping, you're going to see things a little differently. So here's a thought to take with you. Next time you're in a store or browsing online, what will you notice? Why did they make the box that color? Why are there 3 versions of that laptop, not 15? You're not just a shopper anymore. Now you're an analyst. So, what are you going to see?